Welcome back to the Back in Time podcast. I'm Kyle. We've got Jeff, we've got JD, and we've got the former Back in Time podcast guest of the year. Give it up, my friend, your friend, everybody's friend, Paranormal Pat. What's up, man?
Woo! You knew it was coming.
Had to give you a nice little intro, brother.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
More hype than I deserve.
Jeff, if we were giving him a name for the intro, I'm, Kyle Skeleton, you're Jeff Hellblade, JD's JD McGould. Like, what would Paranormal Pat's name be? Putting you on the spot.
I know. Pat C. Klein. I mean, Pat.
Patsy Klein.
It's already in the name, Paranormal Pat.
Why mess with the best?
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Well, shoot, Pat, it's always good to have you on here, man. Looking forward to talking a little bit about Halloween Ends. But tell everybody, what have you been up to lately? I know you had your own review on your channel, which feel free to plug, but what else you been doing?
Just been streaming on Twitch and working. I went to Oregon back in August for work, and that was great, man. It's beautiful. The owner went to the owner's ranch where we had this team meeting for the week, and half of it was work, the other half was getting drunk.
There we go.
But no,
good job.
Exactly. Drove, and it was real nice too because they needed a van driven back from Oregon. I was like, so I volunteered and just drove all the way back from Oregon, which was cool. Saw parts of California I've never seen before, parts of Oregon. So, but other than that, just like I said, just been Twitch streaming and just trying to get through work. I haven't really been doing much podcasting lately. I just haven't really had the itch to do it, really. I've been so busy with other stuff, including life, that it's just not the highest on my totem pole at the moment. So,
shoot, we're happy to scratch that itch.
We'll scratch that itch, but I've got a serious question. Did you take the Oregon Trail at any point across that journey?
I wish I would have. I did not.
I do too. Okay, well, that was disappointing.
Yeah, it was just where was I at? It was not that far from Eugene, about an hour from Eugene.
Ooh, I might be in Eugene in the next couple of months.
Oh wow, that's where my headquarters is up in Eugene. So
well then,
yep.
Eugene me. Whatever the hell that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Well, Pat, I'm glad you didn't get dysentery while you were out there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, one guy the last day that we were there, there's like a stream / river in the backside of the property. We all went tubing, and we weren't even like 10 minutes in, and one guy lost his phone, and then got his foot caught up underneath the rocks, and we had to save his ass. So yeah, it was an eventful trip.
Well, let's do this, guys. I want to start. I'm gonna throw a little wrench into our plans real quick because a teaser trailer got released today, and I'm hoping that none of you have watched it, so we can get a real reaction right here with absolutely no warning. I'm pumped about this. Here we go. Christmas Story teaser trailer, the new movie.
I can't put my arms down.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Stop. Oh, fudge.
There we go. A Christmas Story Christmas.
Can't get any more
all right,
on than that.
Right off the bat, Pat, I'm going to let you go first. What's your first reaction of seeing the first teaser trailer for Christmas Story Christmas?
It was good to see the older Ralphie. Like you said, there wasn't much to go off of on that one, but I've been interested in seeing this ever since I heard about it.
Yeah.
let me just say one thing though. Outside of this trailer, I'm tired of seeing Christmas stuff around Halloween. September 30th, I was in Home Depot. They already had it completely filled with Christmas stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, but outside of that, I mean, I'm kind of excited to check it out. I really don't feel like it's going to hold a candle at all to.
It's an impossible task, I think. But and that the one thing that got me really excited is just seeing Ralphie put the glasses on, and then it pans down to his smile, and like, I think that's all you need for a teaser.
Yep.
JD, what do you think?
I'm gonna watch it. I will watch it, and I know I will enjoy it. It's like masturbating. You don't look forward to doing it, and then you do it, and you're done. And then what do you have to say for yourself? And your mom's yelling at you because you're in the bathroom.
Says you. I look forward to it all the time.
Must be
No,
doing
I
it
don't
wrong.
know. I'm curious to see more. Like, I agree. Like, the setup is fine. The setup is good. I've still got an itch ready to be scratched with it.
Okay. All right, Jeff, what about you?
Well, I mean, so here's the first thing. It's a month away, and why are they just doing a teaser trailer? I mean, why not show a little bit more? I mean, but yeah, it almost seems like it's going to be a radio play, seeing like you've heard nothing but old clips from the first movie, and then that's it. You don't know what the premise is. I mean, yes, the premise is he goes back home to have his old style Christmas, but I mean, what kind of Christmas do you want to set up for your kids to have an embarrassing one where you shoot your eye out?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the movie, as big as it is just probably, it doesn't need any extra than just a couple, like they just did, a little nostalgia from the original. Ralphie at the end, and it's like, obviously it's coming to HBO Max. Just be ready for it. I think that's all it really needs.
But so in hearing you say that, it makes me wonder, who is this movie for then? Is it for our generation? Is it for a younger generation? Is it for an older generation? Who the hell is like, we need Ralphie back, or we need to revisit? Like, I don't know. I mean, we see these movies, these reboots, these legacy remakes all the time, and even with the Santa Claus series that's coming up soon, like, who is dying for this?
I would shoot my shot at saying it's for nostalgia for the people who grew up with it, and that they're going to try to hook a younger generation. I think it's more for us.
Yeah, they tried to do the thing last year with 8-Bit Christmas, which I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it had the nostalgia of Nintendo and, why are we doing that kind of thing? And then it just kind of fell flat at the end because it was kind of like, all right, yeah, you showed a couple of things, and now what? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's just like you just said, I'll watch it regardless, but it'll just be like, I just hope it can live up to something.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put us in the mood for Halloween. I'm going to play the final trailer.
You didn't give us your thoughts, Kyle.
I did. I went right at Pat. Good to see you're paying attention.
That's how
I said my favorite part was Ralphie putting on the glasses and it pans down.
That doesn't count. I want like an in-depth Kyle, like, give us something. Oh, he put on the glasses.
Hey, I'm John Stockton here. I'm just throwing passes. Yeah, I'm not trying to shoot.
That's fair. You are redacted comments.
All right. Let's get to the reason we're here. Just in case people don't want to hear anything about Christmas, let's stick Halloween. We got Halloween Ends. Before we talk about our spoilers, just so you guys are warned, spoilers are going to start directly after the trailer. I'm going to play the final trailer of Halloween Ends. We'll get us in the mood here, and then we're going to fire away and see what we're all thinking for the #1 movie in America, which probably not hard to do right now. But here we go.
It's been 4 years since Michael Myers vanished without a trace.
Hello?
I was certain that I saw him watching me.
You pretend like you moved on, but you're actually just obsessed with death.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Because he is coming.
But this time, something feels different. He's more dangerous. He killed my daughter. But tonight, I will kill him. Come and get me. Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. It all ends now. You came here to kill me, so do it.
There we go. So I'll start with a quick little breakdown just to kind of fill you guys in. So Halloween Ends is a slasher film directed by David Gordon Green, written by Green and Danny McBride. It's a sequel to Halloween Kills in the 13th installment in the Halloween franchise and the final film in this trilogy, which started with the 2018 Halloween film. Jeff, I'm going to start with you. Everybody's been warned. Spoilers are a coming. What was your first reaction when the film ended to Halloween Kills?
That's it? It's over? I mean, the trailer looked a hell of a lot better. I didn't even see the trailer. I want to watch that movie because the movie I saw sucked. It was two different movies.
Ooh.
I mean, it seemed like it was a setup for something, and then like, oh yeah, Michael Myers, we need to throw him in somewhere in this movie. He doesn't appear until like almost 40 minutes in. And then he just does the usual Michael Myers things. But man, it was just terrible.
Okay. Jeff, not a fan. JD,
And I'm
going to come to you.
I'm going to add
go
one
ahead.
more thing. You know, for being the 13th, this was unlucky number 13, 100%.
Okay. JD, I'm going to toss it back to you. What was your first thoughts at the end?
I wish that I saw the movie that the trailer presented.
Okay.
Because that looked interesting. What I saw was not. It was boring. Seriously, at one point, band geeks are bullying. What I could only say is the main character from season 1 of American Horror Story. I don't know what the fuck I watched. Pat, please.
Save us, Pat. What do you got?
I had physical anger at this fucking movie.
Oh, no.
I wanted to go get picket signs and stand outside the theater and tell people to warn them not to watch this piece of shit.
It was bad.
It was horrible. I want my money back. I think, what the hell is the name of the director again? He should never direct again.
David Gordon Green.
Yeah,
Yes, directionally, there was a mess. The amount of slow zooms to fast zoom outs were like ridiculous. But writing wise, the dialogue just was so stilted.
It upsets me that I found out that he also wrote the remake the remake for The Exorcist.
Oh.
So that automatically scares me off on that one. Now, I was pissed. People walked out of this movie. I wanted to walk out on this movie. I'll give you. I've already told you guys this before. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I thought was the worst Halloween movie ever made until I saw this one.
Damn it, I hate when you say that. It hurts me so much.
Okay, the fact that I love Rob Zombie. I love the first one. First Halloween was great. Then here comes the second one. All of a sudden, here's here's his mom riding around on a white unicorn horse. I mean, come on, dude. That was just you got to get the family back together. That was completely out of left field, and I thought that was going to be the worst one in my eyes. I was going to come in with a list too, of like in order, but this one to me is worse, way worse, because it's not even a Halloween movie.
We'll come back to the list. We're going to come back to the list. Now, here's my thoughts. I did not hate this movie as much as you guys did. I didn't mind that on the third installment. I thought that the director, David Gordon Green, could have played it safe and just made another typical Halloween movie like he did the first two, which I thought were pretty good. I thought he could have done that again. I think they tried something different and it just didn't work.
What different? They tried to shit in a toilet without flushing it?
They tried to pass the baton to somebody else.
That doesn't make sense.
They did a total 180 from the last two movies. He's an unstoppable killing machine. He's not a man. He's this crazed lunatic. He can't be stopped. To I'm decrepit and I'm trying to be fucking Pennywise in the sewer now. Yeah. What was that all about? Lori, badass, has all this traps in her house, guns, toting badass. To I'm Susie Homemaker. I don't even care that he killed my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that the end of the worst thing I have to say about Halloween Kills, because I enjoyed the movie, but the only problem I had with it was that whole hospital scene with the other patient that they thought was Michael when it wasn't.
Yeah.
That
the guy jumps off the.
Yeah, that whole scene was not necessary, and I think that's the worst part of that movie. But here you just got a guy who just was trapped inside of a house, escapes, beats the shit out of a bunch of firefighters, then takes a beating out in the street, gets up, kicks all their asses, kills Lori's daughter, and then stands up in the window perfectly fine at the end of Halloween Kills. Mm-hmm. Now he's hiding out in a sewer, and you don't see him for, like JD said, damn near an hour into the movie.
4 years
he finally shows up, and he can barely do anything.
Yeah.
But then it goes even a step further. You bring in this just ugly, curly-haired nerd who accidentally kills a kid.
That was kind of brutal. That part was cool.
Yeah. That was unnecessary.
Best part of the movie. If I'm
okay, yes, I will admit that was if it was a short movie and it was just that opening scene, and you saw it because the kid's neck.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Kind of want some brutal, but and then he I understand what they were trying to do and like all of the parallels between the original movie and this movie, because there's a part where this nerdy kid peeks around the bush and he's like, "Oh, look at me! I'm peeking around." It's oh gosh, this is a scene from the first movie. Mm-hmm. Overkill. Well, and then he powers up Michael Myers somehow, and then this just plain nerdy kid gets shot and stabbed. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm okay now." I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second, Kyle.
I also like the fact that apparently falling off a bridge cures your vision. All of a sudden, the first half he needs glasses, and then the second half he doesn't need glasses.
Well, in the scene where he gets dragged in, and then Michael Myers looks into his eyes, and then all of a sudden he's seeing flashes of what happened at the beginning of the movie with the kid, and so he lets him go, and he's just like, "Oh, well, go find people to kill for me.
I need power."
What?
Like it was like the Mummy. I need you to kill people in order for me to gain my powers again.
Okay, right, real quick.
Go ahead, Pat.
Who else, after the doctor and the nurse gets murdered, and the very next scene, because they do it together, my buddy and me over there, the very next scene is him on the motorcycle. Who else was expecting to see Michael Myers on the back of that motorcycle?
I might have turned it off. If he would have done that, I might have turned it off.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. I was waiting for Michael Myers to come back to life at the end and pull Lori back into the incinerator. I mean, that would have been great.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this. I thought okay, so that's great. That's Jeff. That's awesome. I was expecting the ending to be Lori closing her book and being like a Roseanne TV series ending, And that's how I thought Michael Myers should have been killed. I thought it was all in her head or some shit like that at one point.
Yeah.
It would have been shitty,
yeah,
but better than what they did.
Yeah,
Do you
really
guys
wanted her to
think? let's table talk this for a second. Jeff, do you think that they just ran out of good ideas? Like they used them all in the first two, and unfortunately, they had to make a third one because they were contractually obligated, and they were just like, I don't know. Maybe he does all this weird
It's not
shit.
the fact that, I mean, they could have, in theory, passed the baton to this kid and made him the new Michael Myers without even anyone knowing it. That's the way the first half, in my mind, that's the way they had the first half set up. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, now you're going to just arbitrarily kill him off. And then, oh, yeah, I guess we got to actually kill the first bad guy because now we set up the first half of the movie with this other guy who could have taken the franchise off. And because, and again, he could have, done, I mean, 1,000 different ways. He could have been burned alive and then, re-risen like Jason or, made a devil. Who knows? 100 different ways they could have taken this movie other than the way that they did.
Like I said, one of my biggest problems is them hyping him up as he's not a man, he's the boogeyman, he can't be stopped. I shot him 6 times, all this stuff, right?
I shot him.
And then all of a sudden, what do they say? He's just a man in a mask. Oh, hey, you have something I need. And this punk ass little kid beats the shit out of Michael Myers and takes his mask like it wasn't shit. Are you kidding me?
He was,
I can't defend that. Yeah.
You know how many kills Michael Myers had in this movie?
What? No, we didn't have more than 2.
No,
3.
it's
I'm
2.
sorry, 3. Technically 3
3
because he finished off the kid at the end. He killed the cop that was that used to date the granddaughter. He killed the nurse, and then he snaps the dude's neck at the end when he was still alive after he stabbed himself in the throat.
What about the DJ?
That was the kid.
That's the
kid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
after
right.
He put the mask on.
That's right. He was. That was probably
Corey
the best
killed
kill.
the kid. Corey killed those other the 5 Bangy kids, or the 4. Kills his mom. That was all Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Do you wish, in hindsight, obviously they can't change it now, if they were going to go this direction, should they have just made him the new Michael Myers and forgot the old one, and he just becomes possessed and turns into him, and then that's where it goes?
But
and he lives in the end?
It would be dependent on how they did that, because none of this ever, in any of the movies, like, he somehow survives all this stuff. That's why he says he's not a man, blah, blah, blah. But they never say anything like he's possessed by a demon or whatever. Nothing. That's why that whole thing where he looks into his eyes, sees that, and kind of passes something to him to go kill too, and it makes him stronger. Like, where the fuck did that come from? The other thing that drives me nuts too is every time Laurie runs into somebody, this is all your fault.
Yeah.
Tell me where this came from. This is your fault. You were teasing a mentally unstable man, and he went on a killing spree. This is all your fault. Since the 70s, it's been your fault.
And then all of a sudden, they find redemption by bringing him in through the town, like, Jesus on the cross, bringing him to the pit, and like, oh, well, now that we see he's really just a person, and now he's dead, and now we're actually going to chop up his body. I was almost kind of like, oh, barbecue next scene, and then maybe someone can ingest him. Maybe that's the next movie.
I feel like they Friday the 13th 5'd us.
Oh,
it wasn't Jason the whole time killing. It was the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to sell it like it's Jason for he's making these kills in the Friday the 13th movie, but it wasn't a Friday the 13th movie because that wasn't Jason.
Spoiler alert for Friday the 13th fans out there.
Yeah.
Well, as we're in spoiler heavy, so the end of the film, we do have a final showdown between Laurie and Michael Myers, in which Laurie gets the best of him with the help from her granddaughter, and they end up, slitting his throat. What's that?
She annoys me. The granddaughter.
Yeah, the daughter, and then they
I'm sorry,
his throat and they slit his wrist. Yeah,
right. What was like? Oh, I'm gonna slowly cut your throat, and now I'm gonna slit your wrist. Like.
Oh, and then the fact that she just walks in there like when he had her by the throat. Oh, I'm just gonna snap this arm like it ain't shit.
Oh my gosh, yes. What the fuck was that?
I mean, okay, she's a nurse, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing you might give it. But my other biggest problem is, and this goes back to Halloween Kills, is how they're trying to make her such a badass, their granddaughter. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because the daughter was raised until she was taken away by Child Protective Service at 12, right? But was raised to be a badass and know how to use guns and all this shit. But she kept her daughter away from all of it. That was one of my biggest gripes in Halloween Kills. All of a sudden, she's just like, let me grab this shotgun. I know what the hell I'm doing. That's why I was hoping she died instead of the daughter. But, the granddaughter pisses me off through the whole movie, too.
Did anybody enjoy the final death of Michael where they take him to the junkyard and they grind him? I thought that part was actually decent. Where they carry him through, like it's up on. I mean, it's just like if you're gonna kill him, you better make sure he's really dead.
They've done that before, though.
No, they didn't. We never watched him get chopped. We thought he was dead, but
he
always makes it out.
I've never actually seen a person killed that way, but yes, from the scenery, that was kind of cool. But again, I'm kind of hoping that she would pull Lori too.
I feel like that was written by a 12-year-old. It was like, seriously, like, oh, let's slit his throat and then slit his wrist and then drop a refrigerator on him and then put him in the grinder. Then he can't come back.
Is this just Danny McBride just getting super high and writing a script like, I think this is great?
Well, from what I understand, I don't think he gets credited, but I think he only for the first one. I don't think he had any writing on this one too.
Oh, well, thankfully he didn't.
Then he's off the hook because he's a saint in my book.
I just part of my other problem too when they brought Halloween 2018, right? They first of all they got rid of the whole sister thing. That was, I think, to me stupid because it's like that's the other thing in the past two movies. It was just a coincidence that he was there that night chasing you. He actually doesn't really give a shit about you or nothing like that. And then she just thinks that he's after her. They try to set it up that it was just a coincidence. The new Dr. Loomis tried to bring her over to her. But then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, none of that, he really is after her. And even though they're trying to set up that he's not after her. And then why was he going after her if he's not her sister? They try to change all that. I think Halloween 2 should have stayed in there. And I get why they got rid of 4, 5, and 6. But, like, to me, that's the other thing. Is like the first Halloween, he killed like 5 people. I'm not saying that's not nothing, but they made him up to this legendary killer. But to me, they took away so much when they got rid of some of the other movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Keep rambling on that one. I just Halloween this was, oh my god.
All right, let's rank them. So we got 13 movies. Gosh. I mean, give me a rough. Yeah, I guess you could go by the series, like the original first 2, and then lump the rest of them together, and then the Rob Zombie reboot, and then the David Gordon Green reboots. I'll go first, just because I have an idea in my mind. Obviously, I like the original first 2 as my favorites. Really enjoyed the first 2 movies of this trilogy, but I think this Halloween Ends is my least favorite Halloween movie since Resurrection. So, and I would probably watch Resurrection again before I watch this a second time. So it's not real high on my list, even though I'm trying to be a little bit more positive about it. So I would not rank this as my second favorite. I would go the zombie movies next, the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those, and then this unfortunately would probably be the last place, this set of trilogies. So, JD, what do you got?
Agree with you 100%.
Okay.
I have no complaints. Like, shout out. I know, Pat, you've spat and shat on Zombies H2, which we can go all night and go round for round. I'm not saying it's a great movie, but I appreciate his artful take on the franchise.
Well, I would definitely agree with you for the first one.
Well, at least he didn't make him a pussy. He was still a badass in 2.
2 is weird as hell, but I'm here for it, man.
Okay.
So yes, well, I'm right on with you, peg for peg.
Pat, what about you?
So I got to go 1, 2. Well, I don't count 3 since Season of the Witch didn't even have Michael Myers in it, really, except for
It's not
on
bad
the
though.
TV screen.
I actually enjoyed.
That's what I'm
Season of the
saying.
Witch. Yeah.
I'm just counting ones with Michael Myers. Is what I'm saying.
Cool.
So 1, 2, and then I'd probably go 4 and 5. I'd probably go Rob Zombie's Halloween next.
Okay.
And then the 2018 Halloween, H2O,
solid.
back to Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Resurrection, Halloween 6.
Yep.
And Rob Zombie 2, and then this one last.
Oh,
that's funny.
Okay, this is the worst for you. Okay, Jeff, what about you?
Let's see here. I'm so I probably have to go. 1, 2, 5. The Resurrections one's not bad. And then the reboot of this one, and then the Rob Zombie, and then the Halloween Kills.
So Halloween Kills is last place for all of us.
Wow. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, to me, it's not a Halloween movie. I mean, he has 2 kills. You don't see him until the first hour of the movie, and then he's Pennywise dragging people into the sewer.
Can I tell
eyes, Medusa all of a sudden.
When I noticed that a long time had passed and we had not seen Michael yet, I thought that was going to be a really cool thing because I thought he was going to come in and just like a bat out of hell. We were just going to have carnage for like an hour straight. And I was like, well, this is an interesting take. But then when he was like living in a sewer, I'm like, what's he like fucking Chris Farley? Is he like a man down by like living in a van down by the river or something?
Pretty
like
much.
What is going on? Like that was the one part, like I God bless him. Our good buddy, Phantom Dark Dave, loves this movie. He
also saw Aladdin 7,000 times. I love you, Dave, but
he sure did see Aladdin 7 times, didn't he? Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. I wanted to like this movie more than I did.
The moment they started playing the Universal sign, they showed the Universal sign, and they started playing that whatever the hell song they were playing, I went, uh-oh. They never started a Halloween movie like this before. I said, uh-oh, I think we're in trouble. And sure enough, like
did you
5
really
seconds
say
into
that? You literally said that there. You went looked at everybody and went, uh-oh.
Yep, I go, uh-oh, I think we're in trouble.
I agree. Man, I'm with you. When they started with that DJ spinning songs, and I was just like, I paused the movie and I was like, did I play the wrong movie? I was dead serious. I was like, am I watching the wrong thing?
Exactly right.
Yep. I said, we're in the right theater, right? Like this, what the hell is this?
Is there any chance 10 years from now we look back and everybody goes,
no,
man, that movie was better than it got credit for?
You'd have to get me to watch it in 10 years. Bro.
Well, shit.
Challenge
for what it's
accepted.
worth.
Suit up.
Oh, boy. For what it's worth, I didn't like Kills either. I thought Kills sucked.
There's right answers, there's wrong ones, and that one's wrong. But that's
like I said, I think the worst thing, the 2 worst things with Kills is that whole hospital scene. I didn't think that was necessary. And then the granddaughter thinking she's Susie Badass.
Yeah,
that's the only other real problem I had with it. But other than that, I enjoyed it. I like that they brought back original characters in it.
Yeah, that part of it was cool. I think that in theory, Kills was good in sound. I think in execution they failed.
Anthony Michael Hall is so good in that movie, though. I got done with that and I was like, how is he not like a lead in something really, really good? I know he's always like an A- player. He's in a lot of good stuff, but like, how is he not getting bigger roles?
I don't know. I watched that last movie he was in with the Breakfast Club remake. I only made it halfway through.
Well, Kyle, you can't give him shit material too. He's
you know the hate I have for this movie I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Iron Man 3.
Good job. That's brutal.
And I absolutely hate Iron Man 3.
As you should.
Yes, you should.
With passion. That was a movie I almost got up and walked out of.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. What have you got up and walked out of a movie? What was that movie for everybody, but starting with Pat?
I've never got up and walked out of a movie, but the closest one I came to was Iron Man 3. That was the closest movie I got to from getting up and walking out.
Jeff,
the only other one that came close was It Comes at Night. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but that was because I felt like I was tricked. Like they advertised it as something that it wasn't. Like if I went back and thought about it, and it was a good movie for what it is, but they advertised it like it was like a creature, like monster kind of thing. It had nothing to do with that. It was like a disease or something.
It was an A24 movie, right?
Yes.
It's actually Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
Fucking loved that movie when I saw it when I was like 6.
That's when I walked out. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Interesting. JD, what about you? Have you ever walked out?
Around the World in 80 Days with Jackie Chan.
Okay.
Oh.
How?
Yeah.
Rewatch that. I dare you, Pat. I will Venmo you $2.99 to rent it and rewatch it, and I dare you to sit through the entire movie.
No, I was doing my Owen Wilson. Wow.
I think you said how?
Too, right?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Isn't he in that too?
Wow.
No, you're thinking of Shanghai Nights.
Oh, I'm thinking Shanghai Nights. Yeah.
I was actually. It's like, didn't they do a couple of them?
Yeah.
Together?
I love Owen Wilson. He's like, all these things are bottled up, and you're just all, wow. I just, these. I've never walked out of a movie, but I came close, and it was the second Transformers movie, Revenge of the Fallen. I was like almost getting sick from so much motion. I was like, this is such a bad movie. And I almost got up because I was about to puke. It was giving me motion
I stopped
sickness.
watching them after the second one. So
yeah.
I've never seen one.
Well, there you go. Shia LaBeouf. There you go. Now, gosh, I mean, there's not much else we can say here, is there, boys? This has been rough.
Yeah, give me my money back, Jamie Lee Curtis. You lied to me. I just one of the best final girls ever, Laurie Strode, and this is how they end her story.
If this is how they end the story.
Well, she said she's officially done playing.
Oh, and she did sign a contract on Jimmy Kimmel, so that's official.
Yeah, but so it's Hugh Jackman has done the same, and here's Deadpool 3.
Yeah, but there's no reason for her to bring back. There is a reason to bring back Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
and fair enough. Well, no.
Yeah, but
in theory,
yeah.
He actually said on the record, the only way I bring back Wolverine is with Deadpool.
Okay.
And he did say that before Logan.
And they were trying to say that that happens in the future with Logan. He's still alive at this time period. So
okay, all right, fair points.
Let's get a little prediction time. I'll actually get you some dates so we can kind of see how long it's been between reboots. But October 2022, the original came out in 1978. The Rob Zombie reboot was 2007. This trilogy started in 2018. I'm looking right at it. 2008, 2007, and then the sequel is 2009, part 2. So when do you think the next franchise starts up? When's the next trilogy for Halloween? Pat, go first.
Well, the Blumhouse had it for a trilogy. It's over after this movie. It goes back to Universal. So I say if they are going to do another one, and it's going to be, I'm going to be curious to see what they do. I say by 2026.
So you think 4 years will pass?
I think 4 years, depending on how slashers go. Now, here's the exciting thing: the fact that they finally, from what I understand, settled those lawsuits with the Friday 13th franchise. So hopefully we'll get some damn Jason Voorhees Friday 13th coming back at you in between. From what I understand, they're already working on a new one, so that'll hold us over. But
it sounds like our old buddy Victor Miller settled.
Wasn't he the holdup? Alive. Oh. He was the holdup. There was so much that goes into it, but I mean, he's when we were talking to him in his late 70s.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's probably thinking about his granddaughters and his great grandboys.
He was sharp as a rubber ball then, though. I mean, he's probably fine. Now,
Emmy
what do
Award
you
winner.
think, JD? When do you think it happened? I kind of leave out the fact that, you know, they did reboot in the 90s as well with H2O Resurrection. Then, you know, time passes, Rob Zombies comes out. So, I mean, almost all of them are like a decade apart, though. Pat thinks it's going to be a lot quicker. What about you?
I think I agree with Pat. I'm thinking 4 to 5 years, maybe 6 years out. When you think about the timetable that a lot of these movies go through and these franchises are actually experiencing, their studios are counting their bottom dollar.
The IP is worth so much money. Yeah, I mean,
and with the way that streaming is, and with the future of how theaters are going to be, if it's going to be as prominent as it was 10 years ago versus 10 years from now, I don't see why they would wait. They're going to strike, especially if there's any arguing over rights
$60 million.
or anything like.
Yeah, opening weekend. I mean, they made their money.
You know,
they're printing money.
Opening weekend was going to be big. I mean, especially the way after the last two ended, they were expecting this huge, probably send off kill fest, and definitely not what you get.
They know that.
The reason why I also
go ahead.
I was going to say the reason why I also think, like I said, about 4 years is because I think they're going to get so much hate for it by so many people that I think that they'll want to get it back out there. And maybe not obviously with a different company, you know, bring it back to life and people want to like him. I came home, I wanted to get rid of all of my Michael Myers shit I had in my house. That's how much I was pissed at this movie.
All right, Jeff, what about you?
You know, gut reaction says 2030, but you know, I mean, JD brings up a good point with the streaming and the way the service is. You know, who knows? You could have made some kind of like, you know, Son of Michael Myers movie, you know, spinoff or something. I can see in the next couple of years, possibly. You know, or something crazy, stupid like that. But we'll see.
Okay.
Right. There can be like a damned prequel that just focuses on the parents.
You're stealing my ideas, JD. So here was going to be my answer. I think the next one we see is in 2028. It'll be the 50-year anniversary of Halloween, and I think it'll be a prequel focused on young Michael Myers.
And that sounds horrible, and I hate it.
I mean, but that's Hollywood. We can't think of new ideas. We got to keep recycling old stuff.
They could always go back to the timeline of was it the 20-year with H2O and Resurrection? Like they never continued off it. They can continue off that very easily and bring it back to form to closer to what the original Michael Myers was and all that. Yeah. I mean, you can even go off of 6, but that one was so long ago too. You know, with the infamous Paul Rudd.
Michael Myers might be female in the next iteration. You know, Hollywood's also going to push that. So don't be surprised if that happens. Michelle Myers.
Michelle Myers.
There we go.
Or Michaela, you know, the transgender Michael Myers.
Oh, my God.
Are we allowed to say that?
I think so.
Jeff just got canceled. Anyway.
I mean,
I was just exploring options. I wasn't calling Michael Myers. I wasn't identifying Michael Myers.
And he's black, by the way.
Right?
Yeah.
And he doesn't wear a mask, so you can see it. Let's get woke.
Super woke. Pat, plug your show, man. Where can people check out your content? I know you got your Twitch channel in the background here. Tell everybody where they can follow you.
So I do plan on getting stuff going with both podcasts again. It's a Paranormal Pativity podcast at Paranormal Pat 64 on Twitter. You got the tree link there, and then also the Let Me Show You Something podcast that I do with the wife. Let Me Show You Something pod with all the links there. But I'm mostly right now on Twitch, Solus_64, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday mornings. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Solus_64. And of course, my YouTube channel, Solus64, which is mostly just food reviews and stuff. But I had to do a rant video on this movie, so that's also up there.
I was so excited after. Yeah, I haven't. Pat, when I saw your reply to the Back in Time, I saw that and I was like, oh gosh, I am so looking forward to talking to, because I saw Dave's. So, shout out to, I want Dave, please educate us, because maybe we're all 3 out of 4 wrong, but.
Yeah. Dave mentioned to me through text that he thought that the sewer, him being in the sewer, was a callback to Halloween 5, and that was some type of like homage to that, which makes sense. But
at the end of Halloween 5, all the hillbilly rednecks of the town get together and blast him away, and yes, he ends up in the sewer, which 4.
4,
because she gives birth.
And then 5 is
yeah.
And then 5 is when there's an old like homeless guy taking care of him, and then he wakes up and kills him, and he goes back on a killing spree. Goes back after Jamie. And then there's a little kid that I always make fun of that my wife always gets upset. Like little kid, remember Jamie can't talk, and there's a little kid who's like got a stutter. It's like cookie woman.
I mean, JD hates him if he's a kid, so yeah,
it's true.
It's true. All right, well that's it. You guys can follow us on all the platforms. Our tree link is in our bio on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter. So click those links, follow us wherever you're listening or watching. If you're on YouTube here, hit that thumbs up button, leave us a comment below. Let us know what you thought about Halloween, and we want to hear everybody's feedback. But thanks for listening to another episode of the Back in Time podcast. And Pat, thanks as always for coming on, man. We love you.
Always,
we appreciate you coming on.
Anytime.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Pat.
Yes, sir.
Let's hit the end of the show. See ya.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
How about a hug? I hate goodbyes.